Yeah, I just think Indiana J, like, he keeps blaming others and their sense of humor. Everything you throw at is crass and off-putting. You're mean.
Everything. So what are you guys thinking? Anal. Is that you haven't spoken all day, and that's what you're gonna go with?
I can't.
Super funny. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new. No, it's welcome aboard another brand spanking new episode of Another Below Deck Podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
Ahoy, mateys.
Pat produced the podcast over there behind my glass.
Permission to come aboard.
Permission
granted. So, I guess we can do this announcement now. Yeah. Big announcement. Pretty sizable one, actually. We have a new show. We have jumped ship on The Bachelor because it is one of the many horsemen of the apocalypse. It should be federally illegal. We've talked about it often. But that feed has now been rebranded to, drumroll end, Bad TV. It's a very broad title, and it's a very broad show. We're really going to be covering any and all bad TV. We're going to be breaking down the good in bad TV. Housewives, 90 Day Fiance, Love is Blind, the Oscars, the Emmys, local news. Who knows? If it's bad and it's on TV, we're going to cover it, and we're going to goof about it.
The Vaccine by Stephen Colbert.
What's that?
I showed you guys that. You saw that when the needles came out and the vaccine when they were trying to get everybody vaccinated.
So late night
That's
is
bad TV.
what Nick's talking about. Yeah, late night. Beat Bobby Flay. It's all up in the air.
But we are launching with something special,
Yes, we are.
which is Netflix's show, their juggernaut, Love is Blind. Next, well, actually, as you hear this, you can hop right on over to either Another Bachelor Podcast, if that you already have that
No,
feed
just
going.
type it. Yeah, we're typing bad TV.
Bad TV will come up. And right there, you'll have the episodes of After the Altar, the 3-episode arc of all those losers that were on season 2 of Netflix and what they're up to now.
Yeah.
I've watched all episodes. I can't wait to get into it and talk about it. It's
You know
amazing.
Deepty. You know Mallory. You know Jarrett.
You
And
know
Nick.
Sal,
Yeah.
Ayana,
Right.
Danielle,
Right.
the Bickersons.
The Bickersons
But
are back, and so are we, baby.
So if you love us, but The Bachelor wasn't your speed, worry not anymore. You'll love Love is Blind. So head on over there, subscribe now. It's free, which is the best part. And then in 3 weeks, we'll probably have some episodes in between After the Altar and getting to our next debut, which is going to be Love is Blind Season 3 on that feed. I believe debuting October 19th. October.
Yeah, and if you want us to pick up or cover a certain show, go to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network and let us know there. It's the only real fans we listen to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, people are saying they want us to cover Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You know, I don't.
Rolk.
Well, just
That's what I call it.
Rolk. Yeah, but go to Patreon.
Rolk's cool.
Let us know what you want us to cover. Your favorite bad TV.
Russell.
That's it.
Last piece of business. We're going to read some of our favorite advertisers, that sponsor us for this show. I really have a call to action for our listeners and fans out there. You need to buy some of this stuff. So whatever advertiser, this applies to all of them tonight. Whatever advertiser you hear, you buy a product from one of those advertisers and you post a picture of the actual receipt or
Unless
whatever on
it's
Facebook.
Dame.
No. I definitely, if it's Dame, post it. Post it if you using it. I don't care. Let's have a good time.
Don't
here.
do that.
Okay, here's the deal. Everybody that buys something this week from one of our sponsors, okay, I'm going to put all your names in a hat and I'm going to do a live drawing on the podcast.
Yeah.
And the winner of said drawing will win the official Corey Feldman merchandise t-shirt that I wore to see Corey Feldman live. This is a very famous t-shirt.
So it's used. Okay, you shouldn't have said that. But listen, well, actually, maybe we have some sycophants who want that.
Sick fans who want that.
Right.
Yes.
So there are a lot of famous designers in the annals of fashion, right? There's Alexander Wang. There's others. This T-shirt was designed by none other than fashion icon himself, real Nicholas Davis. So take a look at that. It wasn't designed
I'd love to.
Corey Feldman glared at this actual artwork on this t-shirt and asked where the hell we got it.
Yeah.
I would love to be put up with the likes of Alexander Wang and the other people you mentioned, but it was actually our producer Brian who designed that shirt. It's a timeless classic. You posted it and people were just excited to see it.
That's
again.
what gave me the idea.
Yeah.
People want that shirt, so buy something from our sponsors on this episode and put you in a drawing. There you go.
Beautiful. So, guys, we have a hell of an episode to break down. How do we feel about said episode? Thoughts, Pots?
It's just getting really nasty about the crew. It's crazy. I feel like Captain Sandy's becoming my favorite person aboard this vessel, which is something I literally never thought I would say.
Right.
Lots to get into, but I'm going to hold most for 72 knots.
Pat?
72 knots. Okay, this show had no highlights.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really boring. One of the worst episodes of the season.
Oh.
And then I want to say something to my TV girlfriend, Natalia. Cool it. If you want to keep this hot relationship going, your attitude's starting to stink up the place.
And you guys have been kind of up and down, hot and cold.
It got too hot. How could
season.
you not expect it to cool down at some point?
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. The only highlight of the show.
Do you think she's possibly pushing away intentionally because you've gotten too intense for her?
I think that's how she looks at relationships. She's very immature, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Very immature.
Well, she just loathes emotion. Loathes it.
Can I wrap up my thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only highlight here was when Z met that beautiful girl at the club, and I was like, I wonder if she's a prostitute that Andy hired, right? You know how Ben Stiller did that in The Cable Guy? No, I'm sorry. Jim Carrey's character, The Cable Guy, hired a prostitute for Matthew Broderick's character. And he found out later, he's like, I had her last Saturday. Ew! So anyway, until, anyway, that was
Can you give your Pots
0.
fucking... All right. I don't think she was and what's real work?
What?
What's real work?
Real doing the work?
Sex work.
Oh,
is
sex.
Real
Oh,
work.
sex work is real work.
Sex work is real work. I don't think she was a sex worker, but she is very confusing. I'm excited to break down that interaction. Sad birthday dinner after having a week dedicated to you, going from that to dinner with Natalia and Dave, and I don't know. There is some...
Court was there.
Oh, Court was there too, yes. Sad stuff with Court. You think that the days off episodes are going to be good? No, they're not. You think usually a little bit disappointing, but the good news is, and we are addicted to sniffing up silver linings, it's Below Deck. How bad could it be? It's not The Bachelor. It's still good.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
0 Pots. So, we begin where we last left off with a big to-do up in the crow's nest. Sandy has to chat with Ursula in human form about the information that she gleaned via Pat's TV girlfriend, Natalia, ratting. Now, I know Sandy had seen the filth, but it really was Natalia ratting that made her see the full picture. And Sandy's markedly improved this season, like we said. I mean, we never thought we would say that she's our favorite character. But... as a leader and a warrior captain, how did you not notice that everything was in shambles? Why did it looks like John Belushi is your chief stew down there. Why did it take Natalia ratting for you to figure that out?
Well, Dylan, I'm glad you brought that up because Sandy has such a keen eye to detail. In fact, I thought this was the only inappropriate thing I've heard Sandy say in a couple of years. She asked Natalia why her eyebrows looked like they were shaped by a blind person with a knife. I thought that was really out of line.
She asked Natasha or Natalia?
Natasha, that. Sorry. Yeah.
So if you're going to do that,
You got to get their
you
name.
You have to do
that.
Because
it didn't happen.
Right.
And then when it doesn't happen to the wrong person, it's really confusing.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
So she tells Tosh that she has to find time between 8 at night and 5 in the morning to sweep and take out the trash. And Tosh pushes back a little bit, but eventually concedes. And I don't want to be too harsh on Tosh. We call her a sea witch in human form and a succubus, but the way that she smiles at the end of this performance review, it just gave me the heebie-jeebies. It just gave me the heebie-fucking-jeebies.
That's some people react differently to uncomfortable situations.
I actually had a little bit of that when I get scolded in like grade school and stuff. You're smirking.
Stop smiling, Mr. Davis.
I'm not.
Why are you laughing?
I'm not.
I would just start to cry.
Mr. Bishop in the 6th grade, he yelled at me and told me to sit down, and he kept talking. I said, why don't you find a friend?
Yeah, and the 6, wow, that is so brutal. I wanted to get that story out
Everyone
of my
laughed their
adolescence.
asses off. That's when I knew I was going to make money in comedy. I didn't know it was going to take 41 years.
Well, it was that one guy that ended up. What did he do? He ratted you out. Your comedic duo, buddy. You just told us about him.
I forget. Give me
In the 6th grade at Astro Camp, there was a young lady named Ivy who was going to show a couple of the guys her boobs, and we were all really excited. And then there was this rat that told the PE coach about it because he wasn't invited to the boob bunk party, right?
Damn it.
And so we found out, and we were cornered by Coach Sam, and I started crying immediately. And he said, "Why are you crying?" And my friend Rob said, "Because he's scared, Sam."
It was that guy in the bus. He like ratted you out or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That pussy.
All right, so then
fault.
we've got Dave, who is still in clinically insane mode right now. Stop telling Natasha that you can't do this without her. Stop.
I feel like he'd be able to do it markedly better had she not been there.
Yes, 100%. So back to Storm being a fucking badass. And another segment wherein we hit a pizza, but not really, and we hear V3 a bunch of times, and then we dock.
I mean, it is getting a little bit repetitive, but those things are tied. That's another thing that's impressing me with Sandy. She backed it out of there.
It's tough. It's very tough.
Let me tell you how meaningless and pointless this film footage of this docking is. So just as a little tester, I watched this show with my wife, and I just turned to her just for, just get...
Shits and gigs,
yeah,
both
and
of
said,
them.
hey, honey, what do you think about the scenes on this show when they're parking the boat? She said, I never noticed.
That's crazy.
White noise.
It's like white. It doesn't exist.
White noise.
She probably sees him doing it and looks at her phone.
It looks like things aren't going well with Tosh and her boyfriend, who no one gives a fucking shit about. He says, I'm at an absolute end and I can't speak to you. Now, if this was actually a sign that these Chirons were going to end, I would be ecstatic.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a melodramatic cry for attention from a grown man. Sad!
I wonder if we could get him on. And then
I
we just
would
Nick, hit him
love
up.
to get him on.
Nick, let's get him on.
He's unnamed. Oh, well,
We
he
can
could
figure it
sleuth
out.
yeah.
I think she's already posted pictures and then took them down earlier in the season, but we'll get the digits moving.
All right, so we've got some Skrilla, some guap, some cheddar to hand out. Let's get to the tip meeting. Pat, take it away.
Yeah, very boring tip meeting. $20K total, $1,800 a person. I already forgot who was the charter guest on this boat.
Can I just a quick public service
It
announcement?
was Guy Fieri.
To people on the internet, stop getting pissed off about the dollar amounts being weird. Like, I'm seeing Sandy and cast members have to be like, this is why it's this much because these. It's like, do you really care that much?
I'm
You're
shocked
like,
by
hey,
it.
what happened to the extra $250? Why are you writing to these people?
Yeah, what happened to your life that this is a serious question?
God.
If there's ever a leftover that is unaccounted for, just assume that Dushka got it.
Right. Or just don't care.
Or someone in a similar position to Dushka.
Now, here's what's interesting, and this is now a production trope because whenever they got to make sure these sea rats go out there, I almost called them people, go out and we need them to get all
That would have been incorrect.
yeah. All liquored up for the cameras. We need the good footage of the fighting and all that. It's always under the premise of the captain saying, the owner, who you've never met or never will, because he doesn't exist in this context.
Yeah, Squid Games, they have masks on.
Yeah. He's decided to give you guys all a paid day off.
Right.
Yeah. Sure he has.
Yeah. So, but before we get there, we have some work to do. Did you print your notes in blue ink? What's going on?
Yeah, blacks out.
Blacked out. Got it. All right. So, these fucking sea rats, man. Storm needs to show Sandy that he can lead by scrubbing things and missing his friend's birthday dinner. Nick, do you want to take this? Shut up, Storm.
Oh, yeah. Shut up, Storm. Sorry, I was distracted by the blue ink. I was
No,
just thinking
okay.
how funny it was. That was how you observed that.
Yeah.
It's been a thing for 3 weeks.
Yeah, so Storm misses Z's birthday dinner to scrub barnacles off.
I didn't like how they fooled us, though, because all these people, whether you're going to be cleaning a pantry and not going to Z's birthday, we're going to see you later out for drinks.
You missed the dinner part? Who gives a shit?
shit?
Although, for Storm, it's a little bit of a bigger deal, in my opinion, than Natasha and Kyle. And honestly, I mean...
It's his bride's birthday dinner.
This is strike one, and it sounds like we have strike two, making Courtney lead deckhand coming right down the road. I don't even know if Storm likes Z.
Yep. So, Kyle and Natasha are shitting their pants in their bunk, and they are not going to go out to dinner as well because they want vengeance. Roundabout, passive-aggressive vengeance. Tosh says that Natalia should be thankful that they are staying back and cleaning up the pantry. Tosh, enough. Right? Furthermore, Natalia is right on being pissed off about this because it puts the onus on her to break with the solidarity
of the deck
of the team, further deepening the chasmic kind of clickiness between the two and the one. It's very nasty, as Nick said. It's very nasty.
I wish, though, she would have expressed that. She kept saying, like, oh, I'm just mad you're missing. No, it's because you were worried you're going to look bad.
Right.
I don't think Natalia should be grateful to Natasha and Kyle, but she should at least shut up when they decide to do it. You've been bitching. Right. Now they're doing it.
You're bitching and moaning.
Okay, so let's get to... Nope, Jason stays back, too. Whatever. So let's get to the night out, but before we do... What's up?
I just would have that pantry cleaned in 45 minutes. I just want that set.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Fucking what are we talking about? So I got to stop. I won't do that again, but Jesus.
It got beeped out. No one heard it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the night out, but before we do, let's take a quick break to talk about... Today's podcast is sponsored by Magic Mind. What is it? Other than the greatest anti-procrastination elixir ever invented by man.
Well, that's most of the things it is, but if you really want to get down to brass tacks, it's also a once daily matcha-based shot that has 12 other natural ingredients.
Well, 11 other.
Oh, true, because it's 12 natural ingredients.
Did you take Magic Mind today?
I did, actually.
Okay. It's very rare that you'd make a mistake like that.
It's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
But the fact is, the natural alchemy of these 12 ingredients mixed together are going to give you a nice zen, focused hum throughout the day, so you start knocking stuff off your to-do list rather than seeing it grow.
It reminds me a lot of green chartreuse in that it is a coveted recipe. It is a sacred recipe, but it's not made by monks, but rather a super spiritual, brilliant dude who made a ton of money in Silicon Valley. Do you want to be a winner? Do you want to be Silicon Valley millionaire big guy or big power woman? What?
Or just be better at whatever you are attempting to do. Start using Magic Mind.
Yeah.
Go to magicmind.co, use promo code Jason. Use promo code Jason. I don't know why I said Jason twice.
Yeah. Use promo code Sandy.
You know what? I'm just going to put the same ad in both. Use promo code Jason if you like Down Under, or if you like Med, use promo code Sandy.
Yeah, both of them work.
Jason or Sandy.
Yeah.
Magicmind.co, 20% off. Do more, stress less.
All right, so let's get to dinner. Z has gone from having a week dedicated to his birthday to a shitty 4-person dinner, but Z doesn't care. To quote Cat Williams, tonight, we're getting fucked up.
And you are not pimping if you got white socks on in the club. Pimping all over the world.
Yeah, totally. So, really bizarre. Cat Williams has a very intense TikTok going around about who killed Tupac. Have you seen that?
I think there's actually a pretty popular podcast that just dropped about who killed Tupac.
I think the cops are going to close. They're zeroing in on that killer.
Yeah, they better keep fucking looking for him because it's them. It's like OJ.
I just assume Suge Knight killed everyone in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so I love Blackout Z. Can I get you guys some water? Yeah, also tequila now. Okay, here he goes. The table shades Tosh quite a bit, and I love Natalia because this is the first time a C-Rat on this cast has said, enough with the two boyfriend shit. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's a boring black hole sucking all the goddamn attention. She didn't say that, but, you know, kind of. She's the first person that's like, I am sick of her shit. So dinner hits the table in the form of, I think, like lamb and some massive mound of bulgur or wheat. My God, did that look unsightly. If you cleaned that plate, you would not shit for a fortnight, I swear to God. It was too much. It was
too much wheat?
It was too many oats.
That's 2 weeks?
Yeah. You know, people do that. People just don't poop.
When I was on this weird diet.
You have to have done that before.
In college, I was on this weird diet where I'd only eat bread.
Air? Oh, sorry.
Bread. and I'd poop every 8 days, and it was the most excruciating experience one could have.
That's wild, but that's extreme for sure. But if you do look up the regularity of how much you should poop, it says 1 to 4 days. Like there is really no.
What?
Yeah, they swear to God.
Should be once every morning, once at 11:15, once at 5:30, and once right before bedtime.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So, the meanies arrive, and the feuding...
The pantry cleaners.
Yeah, I call them the meanies. The feuding picks up right where we left off. Jason says something about someone having herpes, and the dorks are repulsed by this.
They leave the table.
They get up, and they go to suck down a couple ciggies. Now, Jason finds solace in the other meanies. Do you guys want to cover this, or should we head to the club?
Well, go ahead, cover. We don't have a lot. I don't have a lot to say about anything. It's probably bad when you're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
I just think Indiana J, he keeps blaming others and their sense of humor. Everything you throw out is crass and off-putting. You're mean.
Everything. So what are you guys thinking? Anal. Is that you haven't spoken all day, and that's what you're gonna go with?
I can't.
Super funny.
I can't imagine that doesn't fly when you're talking to some farmer about his fucking crops.
Well, let's talk about his past employment. When they're going to the club, we get a little C-Rat history, and we find out that when he was back at fucking Hoosiers and Associates or whatever it was called, he didn't go to any corporate events, and it's like, I wonder why you're a C-Rat. You don't play well with others. You need to work on that. It's not going to suit you in any industry.
I don't care where your numbers are. If you're not going to rub elbows at the corporate dinners, you're not getting ahead in life. Now scrub that barnacle, you bitch.
I feel like the only professions where you don't need to, interact well with others, artist, be it like a painter or like a novelist,
sure.
Or like a serial killer.
That's true.
So, Wonder said that already. So let's get to the club and let's meet Z's prey, or rather reversed.
Yeah,
Mariana. What is this young woman doing here? Hopefully,
well, she's married, but she's not dead, dude.
Well, yeah. So I was thinking, hopefully she has friends with her and she's not just at a bar telling strange men that a monster comes out when she drinks. It's just I got Eileen Wuornos vibes. Speaking of serial killer, I was just like, what is this weirdo doing here?
And I actually got the same vibe you did initially, except I didn't think it was Andy. I thought it was the boys. I thought it was Storm and Natalia.
Boys.
Hiring a lady of the night. But then she said she was...
Now, this is a thing for married people. I don't engage in it because, I'm happily married and it's
We
stupid.
have to go to Paquito Mas too often. You have no time to go to a
Dylan,
club.
you and I took a phone call last night on a weeknight at 8 o'clock last night. Where was I, Dylan?
Paquito Mas.
No. I was at Cabo, Wabu Kabu or whatever, Wabu Grill or something.
Yeah. To get fish.
For my wife, for dinner.
Right.
I got dispatched on my only night off where I don't have to podcast.
What was the order?
I don't know. I didn't look at it.
Okay.
Hopefully they got it right.
It was probably something with alterations.
Of course. I did see a lot on the receipt. It says all the dashes in, all the substitutes and all that.
No cilantro on the rice. Well, we kind of bulk... No cilantro in the right.
That actually reminds me of... I would go to his house for dinner sometime. And his little...
This is one we've never heard. I've never heard...
He killed himself. I don't bring him up a lot. His little brother... one time they put pepper on his mashed potatoes and he just sat under the table screaming. He said, "Pick it off! Pick it off!" It was very uncomfortable.
Wow. Hey, let me finish my point here.
But that's Cherie at Wabu.
Yeah. This whole sucking someone's time, this is a professional time waster here. What's the woman's name?
Mariana. Eileen Wuornos.
Okay, very common at the bar late nights, 10:30. They just want to know, and this is both sexes. They're married. They just want to know they could. And then 100%. That gets their rocks off, and then they go home and finger themselves or beat off.
Okay.
And they say it's like having sex to them. It's like cheating, but not cheating because they actually could have pulled it off. That's what she's doing to poor Z. She wastes his time. A girl did that to me one time. We're having this great conversation. I think we're gonna go out, grab some more drinks, and maybe head back to the apartment.
Yeah.
And she said, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm married. And I said, we've been talking for 2 hours.
What did you think I wanted out of this interaction?
We've been talking for 2 hours.
That's why I could never do, when I went to New Orleans, I've told the story before, but when I walked into the bar after my wife had broke my heart and broke up with me, we got back together and then got married. But so a happy ending. But I walked into this bar and there's all these kids and we're all drinking, and you approach a woman and you know why we're talking to each. I
right.
can't get past that. Like, hey, what's your name? You know, it feels so uncomfortable.
I need a friend to watch TV with. No, you don't. You want to fuck me,
right? How does any woman talk to a? I mean, they want to have sex. They
brush you off, unless they're entertaining it as a possibility at a later date.
I love your term time waster. In high school, even though I didn't get laid by any girl, even if they were in our friend group or not, we called the girls in our friend groups that we hung out with every weekend beer wasters, because we were going to hook up with them, and they would drink the beer.
And then they would leave.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they would leave. But again, I want to
buy a little lady a drink.
All right, don't.
You ask her to buy you a drink, dear.
All right, I feel like we're too Tom Legacy. So Z looks to be going shot for shot with this woman, and it looks to be a bad idea. She is lucid and ready to rob him, and he is about to fall over. Jason pouts his way back to the boat, and that is when we find out that Eileen is married. I just do not understand what this woman's story
Eileen
is.
or Mariana?
You were thinking of Eileen Wuornos.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that.
Sorry.
Oh, it was intentional. It was
sorry,
intentional.
the serial killer.
No, it was accidental. I didn't mean to write Eileen in this note, but I did call her that. So the blackouts get back to the boat, and then we get to the part wherein Storm has decided to exponentially increase the ick.
Let's expedite this ick.
Yeah. So Z gets back. He is an actual zombie, and Kyle looks him up and down and says, what does he say? Well, aren't you a sweet little cake, or something like that? So I'm getting my timeline confused, but yes, the ick is exponentially increased, kind of injected with a stack, so to speak, when Storm, in a bout of drunken bad judgment, decides to gift the watch that he was going to get his sister to Natalia, who hates commitment, emotion, feelings. I mean, lots of stuff.
Yeah. What it does for Natalia, if I can...
Not back hair, though. She's fine with that.
With Storm's back hair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What this is too much intimacy for her. I think she's emotionally immature.
Right.
And this weirds her the hell out and makes her feel uncomfortable.
And there's also a chance, just like in the one with the prom video, that she hated the watch. It reminds me,
right.
Joey gave Chandler a friendship bracelet, and Chandler hated it so much, but he knew he had to wear it. And one time he was telling someone how much he hated it. He's like, I pity the fool that has to wear this jewelry. I pity the fool. And
Mr. T.
And then Joey walked in and he heard him, and he was really hurt.
Right.
And that's really probably how Natalia was feeling. It wasn't the intimacy. She didn't like the watch.
Or another theory here. I hate watches. I think I've shared this with you before. Anybody who gives me a watch as a gift, I throw it in the garbage. I hate watches.
That's a bad idea.
Why is that?
Well, watches can be very expensive.
Well, it's not a Rolex. No one's ever given me a Rolex. Don't give any listeners, don't send me watches for Christmas. I'll throw them in the garbage.
Our ad guy, Tom, you can get us Rolexes for Christmas after all the business we got. That's
totally,
what I hear happens.
Speaking of which, should we hit another ad?
Oh, smart.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that right now. Let's talk about this company. Hey, Nick.
What time is it?
What? Yeah, what was
yeah,
what
what?
I was looking for. You know how it's a super big bummer that Pat has to go out and get Cabo Cantina Fish Grill Wabo for Cherie all the time?
Oh, yeah. It's like really it's splitting his relationship.
You know what would really help?
not to have to do that?
The number one meal kit for eating well, that is Green Chef, which now offers more variety and flexibility than ever before with double the choices. Green Chef expert chefs curate every recipe so you can enjoy restaurant quality dishes at home without compromising the flavor or driving to the restaurant and getting in a fight with patrons and or the people that work there.
Which would then lead to a fight with Cherie, Pat's wife.
Absolutely. Green Chef is the number one meal kit for eating well with dinners that work for you, not the other way around. Time-saving recipes packed with fresh produce and vibrant flavors help you make the most out of those long summer days. With Green Chef, you're reducing your food waste too, at least by a 25% versus grocery store shopping. We've shared a personal experience, although he's not in the room, but my gosh, is that fraying their marriage. These trips to Wabo, Cabo, Cantina, Wabu, Fish Grill, Subway, Habit Burger. Go to greenchef.com/belowdeck135 and use promo code belowdeck135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. Go to greenchef.com/belowdeck135 and use code belowdeck135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. Green Chef, it's the number one meal kit for eating well.
Now a word from our sponsor, Betterhelp. Dylan, how's the mental been recently? How you doing?
Not great, because I haven't been using Betterhelp. I've just been taking Adderall and not really meditating and not going to therapy, so I could really use Betterhelp.
You could, but you're actually halfway there on what can help you, what they can teach you to do, and that's focus on solutions rather than problems.
I'm not dwelling on the problems. I'm focusing on the solutions, and the thing that would help get me over the line
is talking to a licensed therapist that you can find in under 48 hours with the help of Betterhelp.
Yeah.
It's completely anonymous.
Yep.
It's
great,
and it helps you find solutions.
Yeah.
It takes a while to train your brain to start looking at problems like that, what you can do to fix them.
Yeah, don't be a hero. Don't think you could do it on your own, because some people can't, but some people really need the help of a licensed therapist.
And honestly, lots of times, people who want to start therapy, it's a big leap to go and actually research, find someone on your own, and then go into the office. It's like the first day of school, except you have to tell all your problems to them.
Go to the office, go in the elevator, look around, smell the paint, be in the fluorescent lit hallways, sit down with a person who you may not like that much, and if you want to change, there's a lot of sunk cost in that. If you want to change it, Betterhelp, no problem at all. Everybody's very understanding over there.
So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. Get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey, and switch therapists at any time.
Anytime.
When you want to be a better problem solver, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/belowdeck today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/belowdeck for 10% off your first month.
Bye. So Kyle and Natalia, this interaction is, Kyle's been in, if this is a kindergarten class, he's gotten a couple demerit stickers next to his name in the front of the class.
He's not getting Oreo cookies at lunch.
No, he is not. But he got a gold star tonight because he was just in rarefied form. Not rarefied form because we've seen him be so hilarious, but tonight he was just back to normal Kyle. He cut the tension between Storm and her perfectly and really aided the shipping of them. It was lovely to see.
Well, it's lovely to see, but also me as a straight male, I'm like, hey, because some dude likes the same sex, he gets to call a girl, and I quote, a slimy bitch, and get away with it, and he gets laughed off.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this
I'd be like, hey, he just called you a slimy bitch. He says, yeah, I know, he's gay. Well, you know what? He's lying about it, Kyle. Tell her you're straight. I'm straight. How do you feel about it now?
Yeah.
Well, he's a pig.
Yeah. Well, it's called gay privilege.
Oh, that's the thing?
Well, yes, that's the thing. There are trade-offs in life. You didn't have to struggle with your sexuality in the closet, right?
That's true. That's true.
You got to just go out and go, you're married?
It's true.
That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well, I found Kyle entertaining with this whole bracelet thing. Yeah. I don't think he was trying to ship them. No. I think he knows Natalia pretty well. He knows exactly how this is going to come across, and he wants to witness the ick grow.
She's got the ick. She's got.
I got the ick.
So, it's not his monkey and it's not his circus, but he is there to try to stop her rejecting her heart. We get a little C-Rat history. We find out that Natalia's parents got divorced because of her father's snoring. Tale as old as time, 100%.
That's why my grandparents got divorced,
As a child of divorce, I don't want to sound insensitive, but
get over it.
Get the fuck over it. I know it's tough. It's sad.
You're saying not people snoring. You're saying get over whining about your parents breaking up when you were a kid.
Don't let your parents' divorce destroy the opportunity for love and intimacy for the rest of your life. I mean, there's other things going on clearly, but chill out. Everybody's getting divorced. It's freaking cool.
We have an entire generation of people using that as a crutch for why their life is fucked up. Get over yourself.
Yeah. And listen, I know I have deep psychological wounds from seeing my father cry one time only when I was 11, when he told me that they were no longer going to be together, and then they weren't together and we had different houses. It's strenuous, but also it's fucking 50% of the time. I mean, just get over it.
Yeah, and also think about real emotional drama. But yeah, you had to visit dad on Saturday and Sunday and live with mom Monday through Friday. Dylan's dad went to Vietnam and killed a guy, and he saw a guy lose his head in such a way that Dylan described it as his head looked like an ice cream scooper took it off. Imagine being Dylan's dad in the trauma.
Yeah, so
it seemed like a pretty clean break for Natalia's parents. I mean, one day her mom was just gone and never cared about her again. She wasn't getting kicked around home to home.
Yes. Band-Aid ripped off.
So shut up.
She should sneef up some of those silver linings.
100% in the form of storm. So, Tosh and so shut up. So, Tosh and Kyle send off a video text to Frank. Just some lighthearted goofing about being a surrogate. All right, next day, we wake with that feeling in your stomach. Everybody's felt it. That pit of Storm is Storm, though. So he's in no regrets, had a blast mode. But man, these fucking C-Rats, they stay up all night and get blackout drunk. I mean, Z is literally he can't walk down the stairs. And then it's champagne in bed, back in those vans, and then like it's a fucking baby bottle, the champagne is just flowing once again.
At the Surfside Beach Club.
I'm actually shocked that only 13 hours later, after almost 24 hours straight of drinking, Courtney has an emotional breakdown. That's not what happens. Oh, you thought I was going to have more there.
No, I was just an ill-timed sip of Fiji water. Courtney says that she can't wait to be hungover tomorrow. I don't think I've ever heard and as alcoholic a comment in my life. Maybe from my Uncle Hub.
Maybe it's the only time she feels, she's pretty damaged, C-Rat.
Well, listen, there's some tough stuff with Courtney coming up, and we joke that she's corny and that she's a dork, but I don't think anybody that watches Courtney has anything bad to say about her. Yeah. She's just she's a good-natured, good human being.
Sure.
Our brand is snark, and we have to. But yeah, she seems wonderful.
I mean, she seems drunk.
Oh yeah,
yeah. See what she did. Watch What Happens Live reunion last season. She was completely wasted.
Well, I mean, if Andy's gonna let you take the call from your living room, then yeah, That's true.
Yeah, sometimes I drink 9 White Claws and talk about SXX Tricky when we're trying to talk about Housewives.
It's
I'm not
street
throwing
to rock
stones.
to rock around. That's right on top. It's tricky. Snowboarding. So, Dave hits the ocean and starts butterflying. Not before he almost tears both of his ACLs over and over and over again. The man has incredible equilibrium. Reminded me of myself out there on black ice. I don't fall. I just don't.
Okay.
I thought seeing
that was self-indulgent,
but he's got great balance. Yeah, it's all comes his strong core. You can't knock this man over. I believe it. But Chef Dave, when he's exploring by himself, I like this. Like this is when he's like as most attractive. I'm gonna say it. Okay, like he is just an explorer. He can live on his own. It's not when he's fawning over someone.
Dave got his groove back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He sought thrills in those waters. And he found them. So that Bitch texts Tosh something about their dog. This kind of sets Tosh off again about how much she respects Sandy and whatnot. And then Jason orders a salad. And when the crew try to have a moment with him, he Jasons them away. They say, "Where'd you get that?" And he says, "I ordered it." Self-fulfilling prophecy here, buddy. Who do you get along with? And are they like Rain Men? Like, who do you get along with? You're just, I'm done with Jason. Yeah. I'm done. Get off the show. Nobody wants a poopy pants. You can be removed and someone can be slotted in that will contribute to this cast and the mirth and the revelry of the Sea Rats. You are just a fucking bummer with a ponytail, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
well said, Dylan.
I ordered it. What a fucking nasty thing to say.
And who orders food without asking anybody if they'd like to order something? How rude.
I ordered it. Yeah, obviously.
I'll still talk to Jason if he wants to come on.
Me too. I'd love to.
Yeah, we'd love to have him on. Mm-hmm. So Dave, no, he almost busts his ACL for the 70th time that day. And then we move on to Natasha trying to repel any and all Natalia trying to repel any and all affection from her life. Not before she demonstrates the ability to twerk one ass cheek at a time. Be humble, baby. We can all do it too. It's not that impressive.
Yeah, and I will say this to you with your, old Patty was hot once, hot and young, and looks fade away. And people, you'll walk in a room, and when you used to walk in the room and notice that people would turn and eyeballs will be on you, that you'll wake up one morning and you'll have a few gray hairs, and you'll walk in a room and no one notices. That's you.
Are you getting sad by what he's saying?
I'm not, because it's so far away that I would be old, and I've never really been the head turner that Pat was. So it's it's just not hitting home with me.
Not yet.
What he's going through.
Right. Yeah.
The kids do it differently these days. They go in your DMs and say "wanna fuck," you know.
Oh, I don't say that.
What do you say?
I do the
sup.
I do a hand wave emoji.
All right, so before we get to the whole Storm and Natalia chat, there is a little moment between Dave and Tosh. Anything on that?
No, it's just that it's a cordial conversation.
It's not, though, because he's hopeful every time they have these conversations.
It's less hopeful, though.
I get in like Gilly mode when he's doing this. I'm like, Dave.
All
right.
$1 million worth of game?
No, I think it's from Mad TV.
Oh.
Gilly? Is that Mad TV or SNL? Gilly?
Not sure.
All right, so Natalia blows up at Storm for going off and having a ciggy after encouraging words from Kyle. Those being, "I would kill for a watch and a man like you." I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Storm handled this incredibly well.
Oh, he doesn't blow up or freak out.
He's like, yeah, it's not a relationship. I'm fine.
Oh, yeah. It seems like at some point between giving her their ick just moments ago, he found a copy of Pat's book.
Right.
Cracking the code. How to close more ass for less money.
Got it.
Yeah, he just kind of retracted, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Oh, what? You don't want a relationship? Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe I want a relationship."
Right. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, it's the chapter 14. It's let him come to you. You never chase him. It's just that's not how the world is supposed to work.
What happened when you were talking to that married lady?
Huh?
What?
Well, she came up to me.
Oh, okay.
You don't know the story.
All right. This was a very 48 Laws of Power kind of Art is War, the Prince kind of moment for Storm and standing out.
Well, he walks off if we're going to do a play-by-play here. And what does she do? She chases him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's get to dinner. But before we do, let's take a quick break to talk about this incredible sponsor. You know what time it is? Time to get sexy. I'm happy that we're doing ads on our own so that Pat isn't here to solicit photos of our fans engaging in either coitus or masturbatory practices and asking them to post on Facebook. But that's not the point of this ad read. The point is
it's time to get sexy.
Is that it's time to get sexy. And how do you do that?
Dame Products.
You go to dameproducts.com. You enter in promo code below deck and you'll get 15% off. They have a suite of products that are, it's a touchy subject because they're welcoming in the singularity, but also they're just the peak of sex toy innovation.
I would really love for us today to focus on the flagship. I believe their first product ever, Eva, the complete hands-free vibrator.
Yep. If you're having trouble with the missus, just shove it between your guts and let it do the loving for you, okay? There's also the air, lubricants that are balanced to the pH of the inner cavity of the vagina. Cavity is a gross word, but the vagina is beautiful. But what we're trying to say is go to dameproducts.com, enter in promo code below deck to get 15% off. Go to dameproducts.com. It's time to get sexy.
Hey, you want that t-shirt?
All right, so... not a ton going on. Jason's being a goddamn fucking loner weirdo, ponytail serial killer, fucking booger eater. This is when they look at the menu and they go, "So what are you guys thinking about?" And he goes, "Anal." We covered it, but
I guess it was good.
Hey, are we going to bounce back to Storm and Natalia again, or are we done with talking about them? Because I want to congratulate him as being a wonderful Padawan. He tells her that he wants to slow down the relationship, end quote.
That was the whole... We covered.
Well, I know, but we didn't do... I wanted to make sure we got that in, because they ended with him essentially saying, like, we'll slow it down. We didn't frame it that way when we were discussing.
Well, I mean, we talked about the chapter and Sun Tzu and
how he said, he said this
enough.
isn't a relationship.
Hey, this
show
bounces around. I just want to make sure Storm, he's listening. He's obviously a fan. He's read my book. It's out there on the internet, hidden. I think that character that owns InfoWars, he's been putting it out there or something.
You talking about Owen or Alex?
I don't know. What were you gonna say?
You will eat bugs. You will die. That's not.
You will eat the kratom. Okay. You will eat bugs. You will eat the kratom.
All right. So, nothing funny coming up next. Courtney is she's an incredible young woman, and she's going through a tough thing, and it's just heartbreaking to see her go through her father having one of the worst diseases on planet Earth.
Yeah.
We were texting about it, and Nick texted us, "Thank God for Seth Rogen fighting against this disease." And I liked that text and was confused about Nick's continued fanaticism about Seth Rogen.
The man, you think he's like, oh, he's just this hilarious, lovable stoner. But right. You start peeling the onion back, and man, this guy is a real mensch, the way he's trying to... cure this disease that turns our loved ones into infants.
Yes. And also, Seth, drop the prices, okay? It's a fucking ashtray.
I'm
not paying $300 for your fucking ashtray.
That's my newest client,
Seth Rogen?
Yeah. The Woods. We built him a koi pond at the back of that store.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Did they give you anything?
Yeah. They paid us to build the koi pond. Oh, I don't smoke I don't like ashtrays.
Well, we smoke.
Oh, I can ask.
Yeah.
I'm actually often looking for an ashtray. I often use a mug at my house, and it's too small, and then I get ash everywhere. And it's
ask.
Oh, all right.
So we wrap with the Jason talk, but first, meanwhile, we get back to the boat. Go to sleep. That's bad hosting.
Are we going to talk about Kyle comparing Natalia to the Tasmanian devil?
Oh, no, I wasn't going to talk about any of that.
He says because she has the same behaviors as the Tasmanian devil. She's annoying and is very annoying as the Tasmanian devil.
They have a tenuous thing going on between them.
Mm-hmm. And she spins in circles so fast she looks like a tornado.
Did he say that? I tuned out.
Yeah, he said that.
Okay, so...
She said she's like a Tasmanian devil. That's what he did. The cartoon, not the real animal. Which is a real animal. It looks nothing like the cartoon.
Nothing like the cartoon. And they look like little demons, and they're fucking mean. And if one came after me, I would fucking kick it 50 yards. I don't like mean little rodents. They're like... All right.
Like a badger?
Yeah, like a bat. Well, honey badger don't...
Possums are pretty annoying.
Honey badger don't give a shit. All right, so I feel bad for opossums,
Why?
They induce such vitriol automatically, and they're just being themselves. They got a nasty tail, and they got a little, like, kind of hissy face, but they're not really doing anything that wrong.
Well, my grandma would make me up in the morning for school, and I would just, like, lay there, and, like, she'd, like, get up, and I'd, like, have my eyes closed. She's like, oh, you're playing possum.
Yeah.
Because you're pretending to be asleep.
You're pretending to be dead. So they go back to the boats, and then they wake up. And we are going to wrap with this Jason conversation. But Kyle and Natalia are back in fun hatred for each other mode. Storm is telling everyone on board that he has to have a talk with Jason. And Sandy compliments Tosh on the cabinets. And I have to say that Sandy, sometimes when she wakes up, she looks like she was harshly with like a blowhorn woken up. She has no idea where she is. Her hair is fucked up. She's like, oh, this cabinet. Like, what were you doing?
I bet she handed a number of prescriptions to the charter boat. You know how they have to do that.
Sure,
I'm sure she had a long list. And,
that cameo speaks for itself.
Hey,
I think she's good.
Girls.
All right, so let's sit down with the J-Man for a little chat. Obviously, this goes great. Storm is trying to be a good leader here, but my God, man, just let the guy fucking go. For the sake of the audience.
Yeah, let him go.
We
got
done.
4 more episodes. We can have a hot chick show up.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's it for us. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Jump over to Bad TV, subscribe, get ready for lots of reality TV content there. Go to patreon.com/Another Podcast Network and post your ad buys in the Facebook group. We will do the Corey Feldman draw next week. We love you very much for listening. See you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Bon voyage.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.